I know that the gentleman from Missouri speaks with great passion and integrity on this subject, as I've heard him speak before in this committee and on a number of occasions in private conversation. I guess number one, and I would ask, though, with respect to the gentleman from Georgia's amendment, knowing that the gentleman from Missouri served his country proudly in uniform, as did my brother, as did my father, as did my grandfather, at least I know they all had a government-issued ID, and in fact, they all three served in the U.S. Army. My assumption is that the gentleman from Missouri, in this case, would have had a government-issued ID as well if he served in the armed services. I think that to be correct. If not, I would certainly yield time to someone if they have knowledge that that is not the case. Second of all, I'm not unsympathetic to what the gentleman from Missouri has to say. I'm curious in 2010 whether the same concerns are there present today as they were some decades ago. I'm curious, and I certainly haven't memorized the cost and the challenges of receiving a government ID in all 50 states and territories, but at least to the extent I've studied it, it doesn't seem to take mission impossible to receive a government-issued ID in most states. And when I think in terms of a country that is absolutely drowning in a sea of debt, we're sitting here authorizing new housing programs ostensibly because they're in need and they're going to cost money. I would just hope that we would go the extra step, the extra mile, to ensure that those who are receiving it legally are entitled to receive it. I mean, at some point, we have to say, you know, the nation is going broke. There are a finite number of resources, and maybe we ought to set the bar a little bit higher to ensure that the limited resources we have are going to the folks who deserve to get those resources. So again, if there are those who know, I approach these debates with an open mind, not an empty mind, and if it's a Herculean effort to receive a state-issued ID in some state, I'm certainly willing to have my knowledge broadened here. And I'd be happy to yield to the gentleman from Missouri if he's looking for time.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Hensarling. My father's still alive, and if this is on C-SPAN, he's watching now.
See if he has that ID.
Yeah, and I don't have an answer to the question about military ID. Obviously, if it was issued, he had it. I guess the question that if someone can answer, I could change my opinion. All I need to know is whether someone present can present statistics to show how many people have been caught living in public housing who were citizens of Bosnia or Tanzania. I mean, if we have a serious problem, then I'll change my vote. If somebody can give me the statistics on the number of people who've invaded public housing. I mean this gorgeous place that people want to live. How many people are tricking the government to get into these fabulous condos?
Well, reclaiming my time, which is slowly but surely withering away, my guess is we don't know, which is one of the reasons that we ought to enact the amendment offered by the gentleman from Georgia. I mean, without having this type of real ID requirement, I'm not sure we'll ever know the answer to the question to the gentleman from Missouri.
Will the gentleman yield?
I'd yield to the gentlelady from Wisconsin.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hensarling. You raised a question with respect to whether or not it was a burden for people to secure state IDs or driver's licenses. And these IDs are obtained with a fee. Driver's licenses, as you know, cost money and time, and state IDs are not free as well. And as I indicate,
The gentleman's time has expired.